Hello and welcome to Out Motorsports. My name is Tyler and today we're testing out the Vredestein Hypertrac All-Season tires. If you haven't heard of Vredestein yet, you probably should by now, because they have been in the European market for over 100 years. They've recently come to North America and tailored tires specifically to our market. These Hypertrac All-Season tires are designed for all weather. They're designed for the summer, the winter, the wet, the dry, the snow, everything. They're a great tire for a person who lives in the place that sees all 4 seasons. The reason Vredestein hooked us up with these tires is because I think they're the perfect alternative for the track day enthusiast or the weekend autocross enthusiast who daily drives their track car and also doesn't want to daily drive their track tires. Track tires are usually harsh, loud, they're a low treadwear rating, and they heat cycle generally pretty quickly. If you want to save your track tires and daily drive something more livable and less harsh, these are the perfect alternative. So how did these Vredestein? Well, I am on one of the only twisty roads in South Jersey, and we're going to test out not only the performance of these tires, but more so their daily livability. This road has some rumble strips, has some undulations, it's otherwise pretty smooth, but we'll also test them out in some potholes and some more common Northeast roads and see how they fare. So right off the bat, I will tell you that these tires are not only very quiet, but they also drive very smooth. Track tires or any super high performance oriented tire has a super stiff sidewall that makes hitting bumps or anything, even down to a rough road surface, come into the cabin. If you have a car that is set up to be somewhat performance oriented, and even if you sometimes don't, having a harsh tire with a stiff sidewall makes you feel everything in the road. It's good for the track, but it's not good for your daily commute. These tires seem to have struck the perfect balance. We're heading to the more twisty part of this road where you'll start to hear some rumble strips and you'll probably see some vibrations in the camera. Unfortunately, this is the only twisty road I have around here to actually test these tires on. However, what that is a good test for is to see how well they isolate you from something like harsh rumble strips. So we're going to accelerate a little bit up to the point where there are some tighter twisties on this road. And even though performance is not really the thing we're testing, it's something enthusiasts care about. They don't want a tire that ruins the overall feel of their sporty car, or any car for that matter. So going into this corner, you're going to feel more of those vibrations, or hear more of those vibrations. They're well isolated, and tipping it in, the turn-in is sharp. And the grip on the way out is good as well. This car is not spinning the rear tires going the speeds that we're going. However, when the car hunkers down in the rear and grips and goes, there's no squishiness to the sidewall. Mid-corner right here, we hit a little bit of a bump, and the sidewalls on these tires that I chose for this car are pretty big. Like I said before, these aren't for the E90, they're for my 128 when I don't have my track tires on them to make my life more livable. And a thing that you get when you have sidewalls this big is sidewall undulation and sidewall flex. And at the speeds that I was just going, you would feel that if it was going to be a thing, and it wasn't. I'm doing about highway speeds right now, and in my track tires or any other high performance tire that I've driven on this car, as well as my 128, you hear that tire noise coming through. In this case, all I hear is wind and literally my transmission whining. My car is very quiet, so it's very easy to pick up on things like tire noise and wind noise. So if I was going to hear it, I would. Nothing stands out on these tires as far as noise is concerned. They're very quiet up to highway speeds, and they have a very smooth steering feel. But that's not to say that they're isolated to the point where it makes the steering feel numb. I've driven on tires whose company I won't name that are very well known and that sponsor a lot of YouTubers. However, when I bought their tires personally with my own money, they may turn and feel super numb, almost as if you were like driving on like Pillsbury Doughboy sidewalls. These don't have that. However, they give you the same refinement. So that's a skill that not every tire manufacturer has perfected, because I can sit here and throw this car through a twisty road with nice steering response that doesn't leave anything to be desired, and also go over this bumpy part right here and be isolated and feel no jarring bumps or vibrations 100% be feeling on a track tire. A lot of people might hate on the fact that these are indeed an all-season tire. A lot of enthusiasts specifically go by the rule that you should have a dedicated tire for each season. You should have a summer tire and a winter tire if you live in a place that constitutes that. My argument is that when you're in like New Jersey and below, like about to Northern Virginia, Washington, D.C., and a little bit west, we only get a notable amount of snow maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And when that happens, things usually shut down and they're back to normal within a day. So if you are the person who just needs one tire to do it all, on your daily driver specifically, there's no reason that you wouldn't get these and you would want to waste your money on 2 specific sets of tires. In our case, and the reason that I have these tires is that my track car is on summer tires all year round. I don't really drive my track car in the winter. Most track day tires or high performance summer tires also can't even go below a certain temperature. They come with warning labels telling you not to. Have I done it? Yes. But what that does for next season is essentially ruin the compound of the tire. It makes them either take longer to heat up or they heat up quicker and overheat easier. So it's a good idea to have something else that you can daily drive or to put on your car whenever you're not using your summer tires in the summer. One of my favorite things about these Hypertrac tires is not just how they drive, but it's how they look. Vredestein, unlike basically any other tire manufacturer that I can think of, actually cares about how their tires look. In this case, the sidewall on these tires were designed by Giugiaro. If you don't know who Giugiaro is, he's responsible for some of the most beautiful cars in history, designing the actual cars, that is. He has designed the Alfa Romeo 159, he has designed the Lancia Delta, he's done design work with Ferrari, he's done design work with Ford. Name a company, Mark I Jetta, he's done that one as well. Name a company, chances are he's done work with them. He was inducted into the Automotive Hall of Fame in 2002, and now you can buy tires that he designed. So, an awesome bragging point, and something that you don't get in any other tire manufacturer. So if you have a beautiful car, follow it up with some beautiful tires. So do I have any actual complaints? Honestly, not many. When it comes to a daily driven all-season tire, I don't want to say my expectations are low, but enthusiasts should know what to expect. You're not going to get something with a crazy amount of grip. However, for what they are, they grip very well. However, for an all-season tire, I think they hit the mark perfectly. They are subdued around town, they're quiet on the highway, they don't make bumps any worse, they don't ruin steering feel, they actually almost improve it, and compared to other tires in this segment and what would be their competition, which I've actually had on my previous cars, I prefer these. Not only are they more comfortable, but they don't leave anything to be desired in the handling or performance department. So to wrap things up and bring this back to my original point, these tires are not staying on my E90. These tires are going on my 128. My 128 is in the shop and has been for quite some time now, getting some things fixed before the season starts. I've done a lot of modifications to it, and we'll see how that turns out in a later video. However, I needed these tires to daily drive any other time that I wasn't actually going to and from the track, because the suspension that I have on that car and the current wheels and tires that I have on that car are just too harsh to enjoy on a car that can actually be enjoyed on the street. So, if you are the person who has one car that you take to track days or to autocross that you also drive to and from work, you probably know exactly what I mean. And it would be a good idea to maybe consider another set of tires that you can use at all times and not have to worry about switching things out for the winter or the summer. You only actually have to switch them out when you are going to or from the track. So overall, if you're in the market for a set of all-season tires for your daily driver or even for your track car like myself, and you want a more comfortable set of tires that you can use all year round and swap out for your summers, you need to check out these Hypertrac all-season tires. Vredestein competes with any of the other major tire manufacturers that you're probably cross-shopping with anyway, and I'd argue from my experience that they're one of the best to actually choose from. So, as always, thank you guys so much for watching. Please check us out at outmotorsports.com, on Facebook and Instagram at Out Motorsports, and please check out our Rainbow Road Rallycross that's being held this August, where you can come and slide your car around in the dirt and have some fun with us as well.